Hello and welcome to another episode of Bands You've Never Heard of.
Bands you've heard of.
We're back, baby. What's up, Gary?
Oh, all kinds of things. Welcome, and it's glad to be back because it's been a couple of weeks, and I had to relearn how to open up Zoom.
Yeah, we had to relearn how to do this show. We had plenty of time off. You may have noticed, if you're a listener, that there wasn't an episode a week like we had been doing there for a while. And that is mainly because of me. I was in a show in June called Come From Away. You may have heard of it if you're into musicals at all. It was one of the first amateur productions of that show, licensed out, and I was super honored to be able to play a role in that show. But that has wrapped now. We've been playing gigs and on top of all that, Scotland. I'm doing the Fringe Fest again. In fact, you're probably listening to this episode sometime around when I'm getting ready to go, or maybe I'm even already in Scotland. I don't know exactly when this episode's going to drop. Basically, we've taken the summer off, is kind of what's happening.
Half off. We're semi off. It's a
Semi off.
staycation.
You know what I've been doing? I've been thinking a lot about this show. Thinking about listening to bands. I spent a good 2 hours last night really scouring for bands, and I gotta say, it's getting a little tougher. I found some that I wanted, and then I got to YouTube, and they had way too many plays for us. So they were good on Spotify, but not on YouTube. And oh, you would have really loved those. I'm so sorry that we cannot feature those bands, but we've definitely got a band for you tonight.
All right.
And I found this band on YouTube. Just scrolling through my normal YouTube, I wasn't thinking about bands you've never heard of at all when I found this band. They were just a video that popped up. I looked at it. It said it was a live video. In fact, let me start sharing my screen and I'll show you. No, I don't want to reveal the name yet. I'll show you the video here in a second. It's the first thing we're going to watch. But it was just a live performance in a place that looked like a brewery or a bar or winery or something like that. And I was like, that looks interesting. It's only got like, I don't know, 75 plays. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe it's a band. So I checked it out and I liked it. And I was like, this band's cool. So then I went and found them on Spotify and I started listening to all their stuff. I'm like, I really like this. I reached out. They said yes. And here we are. So we will be interviewing this band here coming up in the second half of this show, arguably the best part of this show. So if you don't dig Gary and me talking about and listening to music, fast forward to the second half and listen to us interview tonight's band because they are sure to be awesome. All right, that's enough build up. I'm going to tell you the name of the band, and you're going to tell me what you think they're going to sound like. We're going to play that game here today.
Okay. I love the games. That's my favorite part.
And I'm also curious if you get the reference built into this band's name. I have a feeling you're going to knock that out easily. The name of the band that we are featuring this week is Brown Dirt Cowboys. Gary's
Brown Dirt Cowboys. Well, I think it's the reference is to the Red Dirt Cowboys, that alt Texas, the Texas alt Western alt
alt country, alternative country.
Yeah.
That whole scene is often referred to as red dirt because of where they come from in Texas and things like that, and in the Midwest, Oklahoma, etc.
Right.
I don't think
brown dirt's could be East Coast because that's where the brown dirt is.
Right. So that might be a subtle nod to the red dirt thing. Do you think is that a clue as to what you think this band is going to sound like as well?
Yeah, they're going to sound. They should sound kind of alt country.
Cool.
You know, probably possibly dark country, which is now a thing, or goth country.
Oh, goth country. We're not doing that.
That's some good shit, man. I'm gonna send you some stuff.
Send me some stuff.
Or it might even be Appalachian, like Appalachian, but but I don't think so because there are no cowboys in Appalachia.
So we're going to ask the band later for confirmation, but I think I can safely say you are 1 out of 2 on your reactions to their name. I think you pretty much nailed it. They are absolutely in the same vein as Reckless Kelly, Cross Canadian Ragweed, and a lot of those red dirt country bands, and reminiscent of those in many ways. So I think you'll hear that when we start playing their music. But I don't think you nailed it. I don't think they are overtly trying to reference that. I think they are trying to position themselves as the Bernie Taupin to the Elton John. Do you remember the Elton John album Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy?
Oh no, yeah, I remember Captain Fantastic, but I don't remember
The rest of
the
the
little
name of
bit.
that
Yeah.
album is Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Ah,
And Elton was Captain Fantastic,
and
obviously. And
Bernie
Bernie
was
was
the
the much more behind the scenes, humble, I'm not looking to be in the spotlight, antithesis to Elton John. And in the way that they couched it was he's the Brown Dirt Cowboy. And I think these guys are saying, hey, we're more like the Brown Dirt Cowboy. That's what I
oh,
think.
hmm,
That's
interesting.
that's what I'm taking from it anyway. All right, so let's get going. We need to get to some music. Let me get my screen share happening with some sound so that you can hear and see the Brown Dirt Cowboys. This is their logo as it appears on Facebook. This is their page on Spotify, the Brown Dirt Cowboys. And as you can see, they don't have a ton of plays yet. One
Hmm.
song has almost 2,000 plays, but nothing else has even registered with a number yet, so probably less than 1,000 each. And so
Right, they don't register until 1,000.
I
So
think so. Yeah, that's what I see. So this is a bunch of their songs. Let me read you their bio. Let's do some bio
I
stuff.
love the that's my favorite part. The next favorite part is the bio.
Brown Dirt Cowboys sounds like a 70s Western themed dance party set in an old growth forest under the moon and stars. Formed in 2019 in Wilmington, North Carolina. So you were
East
right about
Coast.
the East Coast and that part. Brown Dirt Cowboys began with Darren Blackman on drums, Joe Lamb on keys, later joined by Riley Kearns on bass and Bobby Lloyd on electric guitar. After making Golden in the Moonlight in 2022, Darren left the band and moved to Dallas and was replaced by Zach Lanier on the drum kit. Zach's father, Alex Lanier, also joined the band on electric guitar. The band recorded Weary of the Maze in 2024, which featured Andy Stanfill on trumpet and trombone. Pull Me Overboard also features Hillary Flowers on cello. Brown Dirt Cowboys' latest work is Well of Secrets, an EP recorded at Hourglass Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina, mixed by Trent Harrison, mastered by John Kimbrough. The album art was hand painted by Lacey Villandry for Silver Arrow Art, which added typeface by Mark Jackson. Well of Secrets is available everywhere on April 21, 2026. So their new EP is very recently released. Not the most flowery, pretty of bios, informative, but also not way too long either.
No, but they dropped a lot of names, and I swear I know the name of the new guitar player, the dad of the drummer,
Alex Lanier.
Alex Lanier. Yeah, I could swear he played with a band. And well, and he's playing guitar in this. He probably played with a band around the time of Modern Logic that I either played with or produced or worked with in some way, or maybe we just crossed paths along the way somewhere.
Yeah. I know how you like to write down the names of the people in the band so we can use those later. That was also for you at home, dear
Mm.
listener. But they actually have a better bio on something else. I think it's that maybe their link tree or their website. It's they have a better bio somewhere. And it goes a little something like this. It's a little shorter too. Brown Dirt Cowboys are a southern rock, alt country, and dance powerhouse with deep roots and an electrifying stage presence. With gritty guitar solos, soaring vocals, and a rhythm section that keeps boots tapping, they deliver a performance that's equal parts storytelling and sonic punch. Their shows cover everything from classic Americana and outlaw country to dance and rock infused originals that hit hard and leave a mark. Hailing from Wilmington, North Carolina, Brown Dirt Cowboys have been rocking stages across the Carolinas since 2018. I think it's a better bio. Just you don't get any names with that one.
Right, yeah, and that one was more of the push up bio. You know, that's the flowery one,
Yeah,
even though it wasn't that flowery, but for what they're trying to do, that was the hype. That's what I was trying to go for. That was
bingo.
the hype bio, and the other one was the was more informational.
So what you're seeing on my screen now, Gary, is the very first image I ever had of the Brown Dirt Cowboys. Something about this image showing up in a thumbnail on YouTube made me want to click on it and listen to it. Now we're just going to listen to a few seconds of it, not the whole thing, because it's a cover. It's not one of their original tunes.
Ah,
So I'm going to play you a little bit more than I'm going to leave in the show, just so we don't get a copyright thing from the Killers.
There's nowhere else to run, and there's room for one more sun. Another heartbreak, so much.
That's probably enough for you to get a feel for what I saw on that first video that I watched, and then I went and found more. But you get at least an idea of what the band looks and sounds like when playing a cover. It's just a static cam. For those that are just listening to this at home and not watching this on YouTube or Spotify, we're just seeing a mounted camera, one shot video of these guys playing at, I don't know, 7 Mile Post, whatever. That's in Ogden, North Carolina, earlier this year. So, and they got a bunch of videos from this gig posted, but most of the songs that are in these videos are covers, some originals. But we're gonna mostly focus on their Spotify for the recordings that we're gonna listen to today. But just so far, what are your thoughts on the aesthetic of the band and their general sound from this okay video?
yeah, they're giving off that vibe of hey, we just like going out and playing, and we're gonna go play a full night, even though kind of like us, we're gonna go play a full night and throw in our cover songs and stuff. But I would love to see some video of them, throwing down in a showcase set where they're, because you know, they weren't over, they were talking about their hard live show.
Sorry.
It's a pretty standard live show, Hey,
Yeah. They are seems to be doing quite well down in the Wilmington, North Carolina area. Here's their touring schedule or their performance schedule according to bandsintown.com. It's all very much focused on the Carolinas, North Carolina mostly.
yeah.
Wilmington, Beaufort, Southport, Surf City. They're playing. They're out a
Dude,
lot.
when you're down in North Carolina, you don't need to concentrate on anything else unless you want to, because they have got with each little, because each they don't have like cities, they have like triangles, and they have twin cities, and they have all these corporate incorporated land masses, I guess you would want to say. That is, each one of them is distinctly different, but they're not that far away from each other. And you can spend your whole career, if you don't if going international or national is not your thing, you don't have to travel up and down the coast or east west or anything to get a bunch of good gigs that are varied enough to where you're not feeling that you don't feel stifled and the audiences don't feel stifled.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's the way it's been for years and years and years. They had a little bit of a dry spell, I think, in the early 2000s. But man, they're back. They're back. North Carolina's back with a vengeance now. They are. I mean, this, and it's not like new things are popping up, but old things are being resurrected.
Mm.
And pulling out, and they're pulling out all the stops. So
The music scene is strong in the Carolinas. A lot of
yeah,
good bands have come
very
from
strong.
there, and a lot of bands continue to come from there. So Tobacco Road, they sort of hailed from that part
Yeah.
of the world as well. And I think Tobacco Road will blend nicely with these guys. I think that would
Oh
make a
yeah.
nice double bill. So we need to get to some originals. I am going to focus on their Spotify, and I do want to show you their discography, and then we'll play you a song. So starting off, Golden in the Moonlight, an EP they released in 2022 with their most played song, because it's the first song on their first EP. Makes a lot of sense, and it's a great song, and we'll hear it here in a few minutes. After that, they dropped a full-length album, Weary of the Maze. in 2024, so just a couple years ago. And this year in April, they dropped a 3-song EP called Well of Secrets. And I'm always tempted to just start playing songs chronologically, but instead, I think I don't want to bury the lead. Even though the lead has been buried by 15 minutes of show, we're finally to the point where I'm playing an original Brown Dirt Cowboys song. And we're going to start with Gentle Place to Land.
Smoke rising, porch light fading, every soul a story told. Quiet room, clock still ticking, echoes whisper through the cold. I ain't the answer, I ain't the cure, just a mirror shining back what's pure. When the weight's too much to stand, I'm just a gentle place to land. Let the sorrow come, let the river rise, I'll be here beneath the weeping sky. Not a preacher, not a healing hand, just a witness, just a friend, a gentle place to land. Shadow shapes.
I'm going to stop it there because I want to play you more songs than we have time to play if we play them in their entirety. So I'd like to play you another song off of this EP. But first, what'd you think of the first original Brown Dirt Cowboys tune you got to hear, Gary? That's Gentle Place to Land.
So now, I'm here. I'm hearing your theory on that part of their name, whether hopefully it was purposeful, but if not, actually even better, that they lean toward the Bernie Taupin part of the Rocket Man duo. Because that was lyrically, I thought that was phenomenal. Once again, and this is not the first time, and it's definitely just like with Ice House Road. I'm like, you guys are not outlaw country. These guys are not outlaw country. I mean,
Well,
they're pop. I mean, it's pop.
They call themselves, keep in mind, according to them, Southern rock, alt country, and dance powerhouse with deep roots and an electrifying stage presence.
Yeah. This is straight up like pop rock. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. That's what
it just happens to have a little twang in the voice.
It's got a little twang again it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's not a complaint at all. It's not a diss, other than to me, if you're billing yourself as outlaw country, you should put that up front. It's like get some.
Well,
get a
I
little
didn't play you
risky.
the first. It might sound a little bit more like it when I play you the first song off their first album. But
Yeah,
we're
the
not there
900
yet. Yeah.
miles.
Uh-huh.
That's the one that's, regardless of the fact that it was the most plays, the title of that song really grabbed me.
I think, and we're going to listen to the entirety of that song. So we're working towards 900 miles. We're not there yet.
Right.
I'm going to play you now Coyote Ridge, the first song on their new EP. Yeah. So this is one of the first songs you're going to see pop up if you pull them up on Spotify is Coyote Ridge by the Brown Dirt Cowboys.
Came from Coyote Ridge with a bottle of gin and a letter from someone who done her in. Wore a blue velvet coat with a hem
All right, that's the first minute and a half or so of Coyote Ridge by Brown Dirt Cowboys off of their EP, Well of Secrets. Did that change your thoughts at all, Gary?
Yeah, that was definitely more country. It's still not outlaw, though. I mean, I don't think people understand what outlaw country really is.
No, it's like Waylon and Johnny Cash.
Yeah, but even newer, there's the newer, some of the newer stuff. I mean, really, truly, outlaw now is Sturgill
Yes,
and
Jason
those guys,
Isbell.
Jason Isbell. That's outlaw country. That's hard hitting stuff. And outlaw has never been that melodic,
It's
you know,
kind of
kind
beautiful,
of.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's too way too beautiful to be, but it's not. But it's not also not pop. It's also not pop country
So if we hadn't
because
used the
that's
words,
garbage.
if we hadn't
Because
used the words alt country or outlaw country to describe this, because we came up with that, they didn't put that anywhere in their bio,
well,
right? Outlaw country.
the outlaw country's in there though. That's in the
Is that in their Spotify bio? And I did I read that to you and not
yeah.
remember?
I
I'm
don't
looking
think
at
that's
I'm looking at it
because
now.
it's the part that's out that has the little thing of going between the they had like four
Okay, yeah, here
descriptors,
it is.
genre descriptors.
Their shows cover everything from classic Americana and outlaw country to dance and rock infused originals. That's what their
Hmm.
bio says. They don't say they are making
Okay.
original outlaw country.
All right. So that yeah, so it's a gamut of
Yeah.
yeah. So that I guess that works, but still, a lot of people throw around the term outlaw country. I think completely incorrectly,
So
but
they just
that
say
I
they
mean that
cover.
is some great stuff. Uh,
Are you mentioned this with the
I
first song? The songwriting here,
the
the
songwriting
lyrics
is
are just
really good. Yeah,
deep and meaningful.
yeah,
I
and
really
lyrical.
super,
Yeah,
super.
it's become kind of a new thing to not be not be lyrical, to cram too many syllables into into a phrase, and you know you and they have reason for it. There's reason for that, because it gets too sing-songy or whatever. But what's wrong with being sing-songy? What's wrong with
Mm.
it? With these you can hum along to, that you can, in a couple of listens you're singing along with it. That is, I mean, lyrically I think they're great, and I think you're totally right. These guys would go great with Tobacco Road.
Yep. And there's another band I think they'll go well with as well. I'm waiting for you to pick up on it.
That's what
Uh,
I was trying to do that, and while I was
there's
listening,
another one.
and
It'll
I,
become
I,
obvious soon
it
enough.
will, yeah.
All right, we're gonna listen to the third song on their 3 song EP. This one's called Sugarloaf.
Footsteps fade where the river bends, salt in the air where the water ends. Oak leaves hum like a distant song. Thought I heard your voice, but I was wrong. Wind moving slow through the hollow pines, unholy ghost that's lost in time. Sand so soft it forgets my weight, like I was never there or just a breath too late. Where the waves meet the grass, where the tall reeds sway. Could've stayed forever, but I walked away. Sugar love wind, whisper my name. Send me back home if it's all the same.
All right, that's Sugarloaf from Brown Dirt Cowboys EP, Well of Secrets. All right, third song. That's the three songs they released in 2026. What do you think of that one, Gary?
That's my favorite so far.
Yeah.
It's got the dance groove. I love the riff. Don, 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 don. That's, uh, that is, that's just a great song. And that song of those three, my personal opinion would be the one that could take them someplace if they should they
Hmm.
want to go. As we found out with a lot of these bands, they're not trying to become the next big thing. They wouldn't mind becoming the next medium-sized thing, so that they could just pursue music, or pursue it more. But they don't necessarily want to be, they don't want to go through the slog of the super huge music
Yeah.
phenomenon, which is
Maybe. We don't
understandable,
know. We haven't asked them
and
yet. They are
which
brown
is
dirt cowboys, though.
which is understandable in today's music industry. There's I've been reading tons of articles recently about why people don't need to be. A, you can't be the next big thing, and B, why would you want to be? So there's lots of stuff, lots of analytics and opinions out there about the status of that. I think I know the other band you were thinking of. Um, it primarily because the makeup and the vocals is Bad Mother
There
Nature.
it is, Bad Mother
Yeah,
Nature. Yeah, and the keys. You haven't
yeah.
yet heard enough of the keys in this band, but their keyboard player is just awesome. I love it. Really adds to these songs, and I dig it because sometimes it feels like I'm listening to what's that song? The Entertainer.
Hmm.
Is that the one
Marvin
from?
Hamlich. Da
Yeah,
da 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 da
from
da da da
yeah, from the movie
da.
Sting,
Hmm.
or the Sting, and so sometimes I feel like I'm listening to that. Other times it's very modern and aggressive, and it's awesome. So the keys really kind of make this band for me. All right, we're gonna move on to their second album, "Weary of the Maze," came out in 2024. And I want to play you all of these songs. We just can't do it. We don't have the time. I certainly would if I could. So I got to choose. Man, I think I'm going to go with Clarity. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful song, and it seems if you're a Jason Isbell fan, especially of the album that really sort of turned Jason Isbell into a household name about 7 or 8 years ago, the song "Anxiety." This is almost like the nice companion song to that, both in the overall presentation of the song and obviously because it's called Clarity. But it reminds me of that song in some ways, and it's kind of a refreshing turn on a mental state that's a little bit better than Anxiety. This is Clarity off of "Weary of the Maze" by the Brown Dirt Cowboys.
Clarity, could you comfort me? Clean as the wind behind the rain. Turns out disassociation was my party bus to nowhere. All the colors ran together in my brain. Clarity, don't hide from me. Be insatiable, be hungry to devour. Because my belly ain't been aching, all the drama that's been baking. Blood pump count is close to breaking in the fire. Clarity, come so ready to be free.
Global warehouse retailer. Manager speaking.
Hey, Joel, I'm not gonna be able to make my shift today.
Okay. I'll put you on the sick log. Did you have anything else to add?
Yeah, boss, just one more thing.
I'm so ready to be free. I'm so ready to be free. I'm so ready to be free. I've grown weary of the maze, lifting ink from dog-eared page, breaking tethers, and so ready to be free. I've grown weary of the maze, lifting ink from dog-eared page, breaking tethers, and so ready to be free.
That's Clarity by the Brown Dirt Cowboys. Gary, your thoughts, sir?
His voice is so soothing.
Isn't it? Oh God, it's relaxing while
Yeah.
also kind of being kind of
It's
angst-ridden.
powerful, but yeah,
Mhm.
but it's so and it's rough too. It's not these pure notes. It's nice and gritty.
Little husky.
But damn, so soothing. It's like I kind of get like, and that song especially, I kind of got lost in it. And it was like, oh, okay. Which
Did you
was-
like the jazz break in the middle?
Oh yeah. Well, I was starting to count it at first because it sounded like it was in 5/4. It sounded like it was doing Marvin Hamlish in Dave Brubeck time, but it wasn't. It was in 4/4. It was just really well played.
Yeah. So that's definitely at the top of my list. One of my favorite songs from their catalog. I'm going to play you another, maybe not the entire song, but another part of a song from their second EP, Weary of the Maze. This is Nothing But a Melody by the Brown Dirt Cowboys.
Getting dressed before the break of dawn, spending every cent I got just to move on. I press my pen into the paper like a key to an ignition, bound to light a spark and start a fire. Got nothing but a melody. I've been searching for a harmony, a little less agony, a bit more ecstasy, yeah. The second hand is always moving faster. No hours left for fear to be the master. It turns out there were no limits this whole time. There's a brighter destination in my mind. Got nothing but a melody. I've been searching for a harmony, a little less agony.
In the interest of time, I'm going to cut it right there. Nothing But a Melody by the Brown Dirt Cowboys. Gary, your thoughts on that one, sir?
Yeah, can you play the reprise real quick?
Right where we were?
At the very all the way down to the bottom.
The reprise
list.
of that song. Yes,
Yeah.
Nothing But a Melody reprise.
Always like, yeah.
Yep, it's a minute and a half. We'll see. Maybe we'll do the whole thing. Here it comes.
Got nothing but a melody. I've been searching for a harmony, a little less agony, a bit more ecstasy. Yeah. I got nothing but a melody. I've been searching for a harmony, a little less agony.
Is that enough for you? Want the whole thing, buddy?
Yeah, no, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to hear that because a lot of times the reprise is just an extension of the song, but most of the time it's a different take. It's either the original take on the song or it's a take that just didn't make it to the final, or it's how they do it live. Different things. All right, so Nothing But a Melody, the first one we heard, they were I don't want to say definitely, but they were most likely channeling Supertramp again. We just had the band just a few episodes ago that were big Supertramp fans. You'd go down the exact same song where they're not mimicking or anything, but they're channeling Super, especially when the horns come in and everything. If they had taken the chorus line up instead of down, it would have been even more Supertrampish. But they made it, I think they did that purposefully so that it wouldn't be too Supertrampish. Then you go down to the reprise, and that's Elton John playing a Bernie Taupin song.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pure. I mean, the piano, the tone of the piano, the melody line, everything. That was an early. That was probably around Captain Fantastic, Elton John, right there. So I don't know if you listened to that before we dug into it, but.
It was not on my list of songs to play.
If you got the Bernie Taupin Elton John thing, that would have been the song that did that
for sure. No, yeah, I heard it instantly. It just sounds like I'm at a Elton John concert.
Right.
Yeah, and he's leaning back, and those sunglasses are falling off his face, and he is just belting out.
This is Elton John before hair plugs.
Right. Yes. All right, we are down to their initial EP, their first album they put out as an EP called Golden in the Moonlight in 2022. This is where 900 Miles lives, and this is the first song on that EP. This is the song that has 1,689 plays on Spotify, which is just criminal. That should be much higher than that. These guys should not qualify for our show. They're too good, and I certainly hope that sooner than later they don't qualify for this show anymore, and that everybody's heard of the Brown Dirt Cowboys. This is 900 Miles.
Down this track, I got tears in my eyes. I'm trying to read a letter from my home. If this train runs me right, I'll be at home tomorrow night. 'Cause I'm 900 miles from my home, and I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow. I'll pawn you my watch, I'll pawn you my chain, I'll pawn you my golden diamond ring. If this train runs me right, I'll be at home tomorrow night. 'Cause I inches long. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. If this train runs me right, I'll be at home tomorrow night. 'Cause I'm 900 miles from my home. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow. Train runs me right, I'll be at home tomorrow night. 'Cause I'm 900 miles from my home. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow. I said I'm 900 miles from my home. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow.
There you go, Gary. 900 miles from the Brown Dirt Cowboys. The first song most people ever heard when they pulled up the Brown Dirt Cowboys on Spotify or maybe bought a CD at one of their shows. That was probably their introduction to the world. What do you think of them?
I liked it. It is not at all what I was expecting. I guess that's the bass player singing, because it doesn't sound like either of the other voices that I've heard.
Little different, right?
Yeah, but not that makes a big difference, although it does sometimes in bands. But it just wasn't. It was a lot, once again, a lot smoother, and I mean that was slinky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was almost there was a genre out for a while of country jazz in the 70s, and it was almost like that. It was like a country jazz fusion.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounded like with, you know, but also with, oddly enough, because they're on the east coast. Their Wilmington is east coast, North Carolina, but it had a little bit of Appalachian in it too. So they really draw from everything that they've ever been exposed to ever. So I mean that's a good thing. It can also be kind of a mixed bag when if you're trying to get a larger, more universal fan base. It does make it more difficult because people don't know what to expect, and we've gone over this with some of the other bands before, and generally they don't care because this is what they want to do, and that's cool. I mean, hey,
I don't think
not everybody has to be universally, accepted or appreciated.
they're not diverging wildly from their sound, right? I mean, you can tell it's them on all of these songs that we've listened to so far. I
pretty
think.
much, but it's gonna. They're not all going to be universally tops in each. And for casual listeners, they're not going to be drawn. If you're drawn to one song, you're not necessarily drawn to the other one because of it.
Yeah,
because of the other song that you like, which makes it just makes it a little more difficult, because in today's world of streaming, that's all right. Click, and now you're off of their page, and that is most likely the last time you ever hear them. You heard one song, man, I love that. I'm going to listen to this next one. That one's that's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant, because people are being more nichified now than ever. If it's not, this 5 descriptor niche genre that you only listen to, and there's only thing that comes in your algorithm, then you're not, you're not going to pay attention to it. So that's all I'm saying is it did that having too much of a good thing, which we all, we're musicians, we think that that's a good thing. We want people to be able to get all of our expressions, but that does not necessarily build an audience because people
So
are expecting certain things.
what I've been doing for the past week is putting their entire catalog on shuffle and just listening to them while I drive, while I work out, while I work, and while I'm working at my computer, while I'm working out in the yard, anything and everything. I can't tell one album from the next. They don't
But
sound different
that
enough to
is
me.
that is good. That's a good thing that
Yeah,
each
yeah.
because in some cases it's a good thing that the band does project forward, but in their case, because they're so varied in what they do, even though it's still cohesive, but they're so varied in it, it's good that they're just keeping exploring that. If they explored further, it would get further off of the track and make it even harder for them to really amass a a crowd of an online crowd. Live, they're probably playing. I mean, and I saw they're playing just a regular place, but they're probably also really playing larger places and packing that
I certainly hope so.
that is a lot of times what people want live. But in the world of Spotify and Apple Music and all that, people are getting very very niche happy. I mean, very niche addicted.
So the Brown Dirt Cowboys are in our waiting room here in Zoom. Before I click open or admit, I want to show you this is their website. It's very, very basic. Press kit, links, biography, a couple photos. There's really not much more to it than that. They do have Instagram, they have Facebook, and it's exactly what you'd expect. It's normal band stuff. Just wanted to show you that before I stop sharing my screen and admit these guys into our little show here.
Admit them.
Yes, I am admitting Joel Lamb and hopefully all of the Brown Dirt Cowboys. We are literally rolling right
There
in
they are. Look at that.
from part one of our show right into part two with no smoke break in between. We've never done that before, guys.
That's never been a thing.
Well, damn. All right, can you hear us all right?
Yes.
You're the first to have a no break show. So
And you're all there in a well-framed camera shot. We can hear you. We can see you. Not all bands have figured this part out. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here, Brown Dirt Cowboys. I'm JR. That's Gary. I'd love to know which one of you is which. Can you go around the room and introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Alex.
Alex plays guitar. I'm Joel. I play keys. This is Zach.
What do you play?
drums.
Yeah. I'm Riley. I play bass.
Gotcha. And we actually knew all that. We just wanted our listeners to have a faces to go with names. Zach is Alex's son, if I know correctly, right? Joel is the guy behind the keys and singing most, maybe all of the songs.
Most of it, yeah.
Most of it.
Bobby should be joining us. He has two very young twins at home, so should be joining us from his house any minute now.
Gotcha. This is not computing that Zach is Alex's son. I was trying to figure out which guy looks like a dad here. None of you look like a dad.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice of you to say that.
you're still youngsters.
As a guy that clearly does not look like a grandpa, I can say that. So, thank you guys for taking the time to join us. I show Bobby is waiting in the waiting room. I'm admitting him to our little Zoom chat here. Let's bring him in and meet the fifth member of the band.
There he is.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, Bobby.
Bobby Lloyd,
Hey,
welcome.
guys.
And so we have just done introductions. So if you wouldn't mind, tell us in a little bit about yourself there, Bobby, now that you're here with us.
Sorry for being late.
Okay.
I'm a dad of twin toddlers, so we're getting the girlies to bed tonight.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing with Joel and Riley since what was it, guys, about 2019 or so.
Yeah.
and was pretty thrilled when Alex and Zach hopped on board a few years ago. And yeah, Wilmington's been a great music town, and ever since I moved here in 2017, just I don't know, it's a great area to get out and meet folks either through open mics or just bigger events. And yeah, when I'm not playing with these guys, I'm mainly just chilling at home with my girls, playing for them, or just keeping them happy as much as I can.
Well, let's start there. We've got a whole bunch of questions for you guys, but looking at your gig schedule on your website, you guys are playing a bunch. So is that the plan for the foreseeable future? Is there a tour in your future? You're clearly well loved in the Wilmington and North Carolina areas. How do you see yourselves branching out of that, and what do you like about what you're doing now?
Those are great questions. I think we consider ourselves pretty fortunate to be in a place where there's so much tourism, and a lot of the venues that we're playing at are able to, pay us well because they are, entertaining tourists, and that's part of what we do. And we'll play some covers and we'll play some originals, and we'll figure out how to sandwich them in and keep everybody's attention and have everybody have a good time. But we'd love to branch out. We've looked at Raleigh and Charleston a little bit, and we're kind of slowly expanding our scope a little bit. I don't know if we would go up and down the East Coast unless we found like a really good opportunity that was, where it made sense financially for 5 of us to go up and down. I know Alex and I have each played with bands in the past, and we know what it's like to go out for 3 months and then barely be able to put money in the gas tank on the way back. And, at this point, it's a great thing to go through. It's a great experience, but if we can help it, we'd like to, look at something that might be a little more comfortable when we do find a way to get out and play for other people that we haven't played for.
Speaking of Alex, you and Alex having played in earlier bands, when I saw your name, Alex, I was like, I have seen that name before. Have you ever played up this way with who did you used to play with?
We're in Charlottesville, Virginia, by the way.
We're in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah, I used to play with a band called L-Shaped Lot.
Okay.
And we used to come up to Virginia a decent bit. We did Floyd Fest several times,
mm-hmm.
and Rooster Walk. And I think we did. What's the place up there? Is it Martin's in Charlottesville?
You're thinking of Miller's.
Miller's
on the downtown mall.
Yes, we
okay.
There a couple times, kind of breezing through town when we were in Virginia for some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we frequented up there a little bit, thanks to, like I said, Floyd Fest and Rooster Walk mostly.
Mm-hmm.
They were really
because I thought that I recognized your name, but I actually kind of recognized Joel's face a little bit. Have you ever played up in this direction? Because I thought at one point that being that you were his dad, that you could be old enough that I had actually worked with you back when I was doing that a lot. Once actually seeing you in the flesh, and there's no way.
Your question was, has Joel played up?
Has Joel played up here?
It's been a long time, but like 2012, 2013, we went up the East Coast. I went with, I was playing with a guy named Mike Burns and his band, and all of us, we drove through on the way up to like New York and Boston, and we cut back through Chicago, back to Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
But it's been a long time, a lot of years since then.
Well,
that's scary when they call that a long time ago. It's just,
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
I did get the chance to jam with Alex and L-Shaped Lot for the last year and a half or 2 years, and I got to go to Floyd Fest with them, and that was a lot of fun.
Here, you used to go to all the Floyd Fest, right? You probably saw him there.
That's probably where I saw him. Yeah, that's probably where I saw you. It was Floyd Fest.
2021 is the one where I got to go.
Yeah.
Avett Brothers and Andy Frasco, and Goose was up there.
Yep.
It's a
Good time. Yeah, good time.
So, was it annoying at all to be contacted by a podcast called Bands You've Never Heard of, or does that make sense to you?
I got a kick out of it, man. And I think most people hadn't heard of us, so like it makes a lot of sense. And I was stoked when I got to go check out a couple of your episodes and listen to some of the other bands, because I think there's a ton of really good bands out there that none of us have heard of. So
right.
You guys are doing great work, man.
We keep finding more every month.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I say we. It's all JR. I just come along for the ride.
Well, cool. I'm glad you feel that way, and take it the way we intend it, because our goal is to find those bands and treat them like the rock stars we think they might be someday, and that is my hope. Here's how I found you guys. I thought you might be curious about this. One of your recent videos,
The one with the Killers song.
all these things that I've done, 7 Mile Post, Ogden, North Carolina, back in April, that just popped up in my YouTube algorithm, and it didn't have thousands and thousands of plays, and it looked like a gig that we might take at a bar, brewery type of an area, right? So I was interested, and I wasn't even searching for a band that night. That's not what I was doing, but I've stumbled upon you that way. So YouTube fed you to me because it knows I'm always looking for bands like this. And so my first exposure to you wasn't even Joel singing, it was Bobby singing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not I mean, I know of the Killers obviously, but I'm not listening to the Killers most of the time because I'm finding bands like this. So I didn't recognize it as a cover. I had no idea. I took that and went to Spotify and YouTube and just sort of dove in. And when I realized that was a cover, that you have a lot of covers on YouTube, but all the stuff on Spotify, that's all original. And that's what I want to hear. Your originals, I've had it on shuffle repeat for a week straight now. It's just about all I've listened to. And it is inspiring, it's driving, it's melodic, it's lyrically beautiful. It is everything I want. And I think I hear Jason Isbell in there, I hear Elton John in there, I hear Billy Joel sometimes in there. I mean, there's so many things going on, and you never know what you're going to get, and it's just a wonderful thing. All that to lead up to an actual question. When you, it seems like you're playing, and you alluded to it a minute ago, you're sandwiching in covers and originals, and you play pretty wild covers for a band that presents as more twangy, original country-ish, but still kind of pop. How do you decide what covers to play, and what do you like better, playing gigs where you are playing covers or gigs where people are coming to see you and your original music?
It's probably going to differ by person, I would imagine.
I would love 5 different answers to this question. That's great.
I don't know. Somebody else start.
So I have a list of criteria that I think about when I'm selecting a cover song, and it's generally, does anyone else cover it? Because I don't want to do the same stuff everyone else does. Is it popular? Do people know it?
Mm-hmm.
And is it going to get people dancing or out of their seats? Those are kind of my main things, and I use those.
Which most were pretty good.
And I bring it to the guys. We all bring our own suggestions,
Sure.
but that's kind of my thought process behind it.
Good answer.
Yeah. and I'd say some of our best received covers in the history of the band have been the ones that Riley's brought. He's brought some good ones.
That's definitely a true statement. Yeah, every now I'm like, oh, that's an interesting choice, and then we play at a few gigs, and I'm like, all right, that went well.
It's pretty good. That's good.
Zach, I think we lost what you said there. You said something we couldn't quite make it out.
Oh, I think it's pretty fun. I mean, I like it a lot. It's been a great time. It's pretty gaming.
So which
we throw at him.
Yeah.
So which type of gig do you like the best? Do you like do you do many showcase gigs, or is it mostly just grabbing tourists by the ears?
there's a pretty cool listening room in town here called Live at Ted's, and if you ever come down this way, that would be a pretty cool place to try to get booked at, because the folks that go there are going specifically to shut up and listen to you, and they love it. The place fits only 60, 65 people, sounds amazing, and they'll record your set if you ask them to. Pay them a little bit. They'll record your whole set and it'll sound great. But it's called Live at Ted's, and we've been fortunate enough to play there four times as a band. We try to play there every year and try to bring new songs that we've never played before that we've written ourselves there when we do. And anymore, like whenever we play there, it's all originals, the whole set long. It's 2 hours of original music, and we look forward to that. And the people there, I think, really enjoy it too. You know, I wish we could do that all the time, but you know, it's not really financially feasible for us. You know, maybe it will be when more people, you know, learn about us, but at least for where we are right now, it's easier to like have, you know, a lot of gigs where you are kind of trying to do both, and that way you're making the patrons of the place happy, and we've picked up some new followers that have gotten into our original music because we played a cover that they like. So that's working for where we are, but definitely I'd say where we want to go is be able to you know, play a show where people come to hear our stuff, and then maybe have a couple really cool covers that they hadn't thought of that we'd ever done, and we throw them in there. I love that Goose does that. When I saw him at Red Hat in Raleigh, they played Radiohead, Arpeggi Weird Fishes, and it was like right at sunset, and it sounded beautiful. And I hadn't expected, I didn't know they ever played that song, and that was an example of a cover that they chose the right one at the right time of the set, and everybody was just vibing.
I wanted to add on to that. Also, I think we've all seen Goose a couple times, and I remember when I saw them at Red Hat. We were at the same show, Joel. I think, yeah, that's right. And that same show, they closed with "If You Like Pina Coladas." So, I was just like, it was so just out of left field, just like, all right, and it worked. It was really cool. So, and I think we had a show down at Sea Witch at Carolina Beach a couple months ago, where we the crowd was a lot of fun, and we wrapped up. You know, at the time we were supposed to wrap up, but they were actually yelling for one more song, and so Joel just started playing Rocky Raccoon, and I've never would have thought of that as like a big banger closer song, but it just worked, and it was super fun. And regarding like, you know, covers versus originals and stuff, I was going to also point out earlier that I think it just kind of varies from gig to gig, because we've had some really cool gigs where people are dancing and grooving, and then like once we're done, like a DJ will start up and people just like leave, or I don't know, like, and it's fun in the moment. But then there you have these other gigs too where you're playing more original stuff, and people are just sitting and just kind of staring or just chilling, and you're wondering like, no one's really moving, or like, are they enjoying this? And as you're packing up at the end of the gig, like a couple people come up and tell you how much they really enjoyed hearing the original music. So in the moment, it's not always, it's kind of hard to tell, because in the middle of the set, you're like, are people liking this? But it's good when it feels good when people come up that they got something out of that. And I think I wouldn't say one is better than the other all the time. I mean, there's going to be some days where I want to jam and I want to get grooving and get people dancing, but there's some days where it means just as much, or maybe even more. People just really appreciate, you know, the original stuff and the ideas that were being tossed out there.
And are you guys well known enough in Wilmington and surrounding areas where people come to your shows and know all the words to some of or all of your songs? Like, is that a regular occurrence for you, or is that starting to happen more, or what?
We're getting there. Dancing in the Flames, there's definitely people that know that song.
That's getting some radio time.
Yeah. They know all the words to that one. But yeah, I wouldn't say that we've necessarily released our strongest stuff yet. I think our best days as a band are ahead of us. I feel like we're on a trajectory right now where we're really kind of like, our sound is really kind of gelling right now. Like where we want to go is becoming more clear. One of the things I got from listening to your podcast was you guys were listening to a band and you're like, I don't know about their bio, but they know what their identity is, and they know what they're trying to do, you know, and like their sound was cohesive from song to song. And I feel like for us, we're kind of arriving there right now. Like we're in that process where we have so many different influences between the five of us, and we played together now so much that it's starting to become a sound that is only there when all five of us are there. And when one of us isn't there, it's not us, you know, and that's cool. I think it bodes really well for the future. Our plan is we're going to try to record 3 more songs this year, and hopefully 3 more songs next year, and hopefully 3 more songs the year after that, and just keep going for it and make the best music we can. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's more of a priority than whether, you know, the rest of the world gets to hear it or not. I think that it's the time capsule of going in the studio and making it and writing something that we care about and working it out together, like the labor in the practice room, tinkering with it. Those are the things that get me excited, really.
We talked about that a little bit before we brought you guys in, about how your sound has evolved a little bit. But as I was explaining, as I hit shuffle and repeat on all of your stuff from all of the albums, it's clearly the same band, at least mostly, right? I can't pick out, okay, is that the new song? Is that an older song? Once I've done that enough, I can sort of start to see that. But you do have a sort of a unifying vibe, sound. I think a lot of it is your voice, Joel. I think that locks it in a lot of the times. And by the way, we love your voice and the words that come out of it, and the melodies and the harmonies. We think that's a big part of the band. That, and of course the keys. Not that the rest of you aren't great, but that's clearly a big part of it.
Although on the one song whose title is Clarity, I got lost in your voice and I couldn't tell you what the song was about, because I'm just like, it was so soothing. It was just like, okay. No, that was because, again, then we, you know, because it's got some grit to it, and it's not, you know, and it's not a whisper or anything like that. You got power behind it, but for some reason, especially on Clarity, it led me into La La Land, and there was no clarity whatsoever. So, congratulations.
I used to be a manager at Costco for many years, and it was 12-hour shifts, and I'd be exhausted getting home. And that song is kind of about me making the decision to be a part-time employee and just work 5 hours a day there and really focus on music. And that's really kind of what the song's about. Our friend Eric Miller plays the guy taking the phone call in the middle of the song.
That was great.
He came into the studio. He's a DJ here in Wilmington. He DJs on the Penguin, WUIN. And we asked him if he'd do that for us, and it's kind of fun to have him on the song.
I have literally wrote that question down while we were listening to that song just half an hour ago, was to ask that was there a story behind that? Was this a dream that everybody in the band has, is it's quitting their warehouse job and doing music full time? Was I hearing this right? Was I picking up the right vibes? And I'm glad to know that, yeah, that's awesome. I was going to guess it was some other major warehouse, but I couldn't, you didn't name Costco in the song, I don't think, right?
Didn't know.
So I was assuming it was Amazon, but you know.
It's really been great to me, honestly. Like I stumbled into Costco as a 21-year-old kid to push carts when I had left my home in a little bit north of Seattle, and I packed everything in my hatchback car and drove to LA back in 2001 to audition for a band. I dropped out of music school and I quit my job at UPS and drove to LA to audition for this band. The band loved me. So I got hooked up with them, and we were on the Warped Tour for a little bit, and we got this really shady record deal with this company, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want to stir anything up. I'm sure like they'll never hear about this, but like basically like they went bankrupt. They shelved our record. We didn't get a copy of it. We didn't get any money to get back home. The credit card that they gave us was like canceled, and so we're trying to figure out how to put money in the gas tank to get back from freaking Idaho to California. And so I kind of stumbled back to LA, like crawl into Costco, man. I'm like, can you guys please hire me? I'll do anything.
Wow.
And like I'm still there. So they've been good to me. I picked up a prescription this morning for my daughter, and like Costco paid for it. You know, like I couldn't ask for a more stable counterbalance to like being able to do the music. Yeah. But at the same time, I want to do the music, you know? I don't want to be at Costco all day.
Right.
So, so day jobs versus music full time. Like, how does that equation work for the rest of you guys?
Well, I got laid off from my day job quite a while ago. That was back in like probably 2007, possibly. I was doing like audio, video, TV, home theater installation stuff. That time, things kind of went south with the economy, and nobody really wanted that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then around the same time, this guy Zach over here was born, and I came to a decision, my wife and I, that was like, so should I keep working a job and then paying $750 a month for childcare? Or since she was taking off in her career, I was like, maybe I should just hang out at the house with the kid and we'll get this worked out. So that's what happened to me quite a while ago, and I'm still kind of there at this point. But Wildman over here, he's all grown up now, and he's got his own job. So I just I do a little bit of like side recording and stuff, and work with new people that have never recorded or done stuff like that too. So I'm like a full-time, part-time musician. I guess you
got some PAs who run sound for some bands, make it sound good.
I know I can do a few little things here and there, man. I keep myself busy enough. So.
Yeah.
Full-time, part-time musician. That's a good album name.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That kind of sums up a lot of those folks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it now. What about you, Riley?
I work in a kitchen Tuesday through Thursday. I go in at like 5:30 in the morning and get out usually by noon. So it's a pretty good setup.
Tuesday through Thursday. That's a good week.
That's
almost Jon Stewart hours.
It's just enough to be stable, to have like bills and stuff paid, and then the music's kind of extra, which is.
Well, then you play in 14 other bands.
Yeah, how many bands?
Yeah, I'm in 5 or 6 bands also at this point too.
Though the life of a bass player.
Yes.
He's one versatile dude though. Knows a ton of songs.
How many songs do you know, Riley?
2,000.
2,000. Wow. And I'll say this about Riley is more than anybody I've ever worked with. Like if everybody talks about learning a song and then they all show up at rehearsal, Riley's the one who really knows the song. Like every note in the song, every like the tempo, the key, everything. Like it's all in Riley's brain. It's not a sheet he's reading. He's a student. He's a student of the game, and I respect the hell out of him.
It's easy when it's one note at a time.
You don't have to worry about what a diminished means.
Yeah.
Could you explain that to our bass player?
It's like, don't worry, guys, I got it.
So Zach, you and me have something in common. We're both the youngest guy in our band, and we both play the drums. What's it like playing music with a different generation of dudes?
I don't know. It's been amazing, like time for me being with Joel and Bobby Run and Dad. Like,
Oh,
like the first time I played with them was summer 2023.
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
Yeah, so I was about 17 years old, and now I'm 20. So it's been about 3 years. So it's been. I'm just thankful to being part of the drummer, being in band with all of them.
Yeah, we're grateful to have you, man. It's
Hey, thanks.
it's cool. It's just cool how it's evolved so much, man.
Yeah.
Like since that point,
Yeah.
it's like completely different than it was 3 years ago. Like,
Yeah, for
sorry about that.
It's for the mostly. I mean, I'd say for the better generally. I mean, yeah, it's only gotten better and better each year. So
Bobby, what's your secondary thing? Just the kids and the music, or
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
we're leaving out the extra dude here a little bit.
No, you're good. No, actually, I have a full 8 to 5 job. I work for the city of Wilmington, and I'm a geographic data analyst. So I spend a lot of time behind the computer, and it's nice when I get off and go do gigs and things like or even just practice, just to kind of get away from the screen and just get a little more artistic here and there. So yeah, I've had to miss some gigs here and there, and especially when my girls were born almost 2 years ago. So all the guys have been really understanding and patient with me when I've had to miss or I've had to show up 30 minutes before a set starts because we had one of the girls was teething and throwing a temper tantrum. so yeah, I really enjoyed my job during the day. It's hard to tell what the future holds. I long-term plan to continue doing that, and I really enjoy what I do during the day, and music is just for me, it is a passion, and it's also a get out as well. So if the chance to play music full-time ever came up and it was financially a stable option, I think I would definitely consider it. But I'm very happy with at least where I'm at right now, and my relationship with all these guys, and it's just right now it's been a really good time for sure.
Let's change gears a little bit. The horns and the cellos and these interesting instruments and accompanists or whatever that you bring in for some of your songs. Do you try to recreate that live? Do you bring in those people for live shows? Do you just try to hit those notes and those sounds on the keys? How do you try to recreate that original sound live, if you even bother trying to do that?
Well, I got to give some props to Andy Stanfill on the trumpet and the trombone and not cello. No, he played the euphonium.
Flugelhorn or the euphonium?
Yeah, he's got several instruments at his disposal, but he was playing with us full time for the band. Like he was at every gig for like a year and a half. Yeah, and he works full time as an electrician, and he was putting in like 60-hour weeks, and him and his wife were trying to buy a house, and it was just like every weekend he was with us, every Friday and Saturday, and it was just got to be too much for him. So, I mean, who knows? There might be a time that comes along where he comes back, and if not on the at the shows, maybe in the studio again. But he's a talented guy, and I really loved the sound with all 6 of us. It was like a big, cool sound. And some of those songs that we recorded with him, we have figured out ways to the Dancing in the Flames part. I don't know about you guys, I hate the way a horn sounds on the keyboard for the most part. Like that 80s brass synth thing is cool, but like when it's trying to sound just like a horn part, that's not for me, man. I don't like it at all. I'd rather if you're going to play a key part, it's got to sound like a good keyboard, man. Like a good synthesizer, something rich, something beautiful. And so, we're just trying to find those sounds to replace it. We'll play the same notes of the part, but it's a little bit different interpretation.
Cool.
Yeah.
But it's also because you got one guy playing 2 horns, that might make it a little bit difficult to actually still capture the whole thing live, unless he's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, at least thank goodness he couldn't figure out how to play both at the same time. That would have been
Right?
a
I
lot
guess,
more.
yeah. Could put one in his nose and one in his mouth. I don't know.
He could have started demanding like 2 cuts of the pay, I guess, if he
Right, yeah.
started doing that.
I'm both the 6th and the 7th Brown Dirt Cowboy. One of the challenges I find in this show is finding interesting ways to ask some of the cliched questions that you ask a band. And so here's my attempt at that. Earlier, we were talking about the name Brown Dirt Cowboys. I Googled it. I put it into AI, and it said, yeah, it's probably an Elton John, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboys reference. Gary immediately thought it's more of a red dirt country music sort of reference,
But from the East Coast.
but from the East Coast with brown dirt.
Brown
We don't have red dirt. We have clay, right? Oh, what? Yes.
Yep, it is.
That's the answer to your question, I suppose.
Love it.
If
So-
you guys ever get a chance, this one right here, that's the one. To me, it's a live album. Way before like, Tumbleweed Connection or any of the later work. But that was the album that, if you ask Ben Folds said that was the album that told him it was okay to rock out as hard as you can on a piano.
Yes.
So when I heard Ben Folds say that, that was when I started listening to Elton John for the first time, and I was like, man, Ben Folds is right.
So, is this a band of Brown Dirt Cowboys, or is there a Captain Fantastic amongst you?
I mean, I don't know. I think we're a collective. Like the 5 of us each have our moments where we're owning the sound. And we shift it around. We spread it around. Like there's a drum solo for Zach. We'll let the bass go for some time. Bobby and Alex will harmonize with each other, or they'll each take a lead break. We try to spread it around a lot.
We've got to, so we don't get tired, man.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a little bit.
As I've gotten older, I've definitely, like for example, we played a gig this past weekend where Alex and Zach were out of town, and we got a good buddy to fill in on drums. And for me, playing solo on guitar, I've done it for years before Alex joined permanently as a second guitarist. So it's something that I've never been able to handle. But when you get used to having somebody else to, to share the load, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and he does it for me if I have to be out too. And it's like, it's funny. I feel like the younger version of me would have been like, no, I want to do all the solos. But now I'm like, you just care a little bit less about that, and you care a lot more about the cohesiveness of the band and like the full sound. And it just, and now, if one of us isn't there, it's like, man, this is really exhausting.
It's so thin sounding now.
Yeah.
Work.
I'm grateful to have both of them.
So JR and I went back and forth with the whole naming and the origins and my references and then what he had looked up, and then he played me Nothing But a Melody, and the main song of that one, did you or did you not channel Supertramp for that?
Oh man, I wasn't even thinking about that. You're the first person that's told me about it.
Go back and listen to that, and then listen to some Supertramp, and you'll hear what I
Does it
heard.
feel too close? Like, does it feel like?
Oh God, no! You're channeling it. You're not. If you had talked about it, if you had done a few things with the melody, it would have been more Supertrampy. But the keyboard part of course is the first part that nails it. But then the melody is kind of a Supertramp type melody, and then you go down at the end of the line, and he always went up at the end of the line. So it made it sound a little darker, and his stuff was some of the darkest stuff you could ever imagine, but played very lightly. It's like.
That makes me want to go listen to some Supertramp, man.
Oh God, yes. Everybody, every reason is a good reason to go listen to some Supertramp. But then, and I'd seen that you had the reprise at the end of reprise Is it? Do y'all know what it is?
I was just in a musical not too long ago, and we had this discussion. It is Reprise.
It is Reprise. Okay.
Oh wow! I've been saying it wrong for 20 years.
Me too.
I went to music school. That's how it's.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I heard it, not in music school, but from somebody from music school. But that was, I've been, I grew up in the South. I called it, was wonder I could pronounce it at all. But anyway, because I'm looking at that and I see that because there's several, I explained to JR, there's a couple of different ways that they play that. Sometimes it's just an outro. It's like you mellow it down a whole lot. And other times it's like, this is what the song originally was, or this is what it could have been, or whatever. But you get from the Supertramp treatment of this album, the top
main
of the
song.
album.
Yep.
And then you go to the Elton John, Bernie Taupin version. Oh my God! It was. I mean, you had the piano tone, the lyrical effects, everything about it was like, oh, geez,
It was like we were at an Elton John concert.
Yeah, it was like you were listening to Captain Fantastic. And I'm like, okay, you got me. That's what it was, because I was head bent on, because I really wasn't hearing. I heard the lyrical content, but I wasn't hearing the whole treatment until that happened, and that was like, okay, I'm sold. But he wasn't even going to play that for me. I had to pull that up because I'm like, I'm going to see. I bet this is going to be the telltale sign or not. But it was my get. I always get excited when you have a reprise because that's kind of gone out of favor somewhat in the last few decades. And man, but that gave me the Captain Fantastic vibe 100%. So
thank you guys a lot for all these kind words. You're like pumping us up and encouraging us and stuff. This is awesome.
Treating you like the rock stars we want you to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say, hey, have you heard the new Brown Dirt Cowboys album? And for people to know what the hell I'm talking about, right? Like, that's what I want. That's why I do this show.
Actually, we wanted to get to the point goes, have you seen BDC recently?
BDC. I love it.
BDC.
So I assume it's Joel that writes the lyrics. And if not, this question is for whoever does. How do you decide what to write about?
That is a question for Joel. For sure.
It's changed over the years. I'm going to be real candid because I don't see any reason not to be. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I went through a divorce and it was rough. And that's kind of when I felt like the song started coming for me. And it was like a little bit at a time at first. It was like, I would sit down and write whenever I felt really bad about things as a way to like get through it. And over time, it's kind of evolved to like a daily thing. And now I'll get home from work in the morning, and sometimes the first thing I'll do is just like get some water and sit at the table and just like kind of put my thoughts out there and not try to like polish them up or make them rhyme or make them fit anything, but just like write them down. And then maybe later I'll look at that and I'll like mess around with it and play games with it and try to like take words out. And I learned this from reading a book by Jeff Tweedy called Write One Good Song, which is a great book about songwriting from a really creative guy. But he does word ladders, and so he'll put a bunch of like nouns down and then a bunch of verbs and maybe some prepositions, and then he'll just draw lines to random ones that you might not have associated with each other in a way to stir things up and get and think about what you're doing a little bit differently. And so playing games like that with the words has been fun for me. It's like a satisfying way to like relax my brain and focus weirdly. And so like I don't know, the songs a lot of times I don't know what they're about the first revision. It takes me a couple of revisions to really be like, oh, I want to go after that. I want to pursue that idea, if if that makes sense.
So you come up with phrases and just kind of work out from that, from phrases that sound cool and or that challenge you somewhat, and then you assign it a theme.
Yeah,
You start
I'm
with a theme.
interested in the way some of the words are, and like they remind me of something that I've gone through or that I have something to say about it.
Interesting.
That's kind of where.
Yeah, because you just described two sort of very different writing styles, right? Where you're starting with the turmoil, the emotion of what you're going through in life, and something coming out of that with more of a let's experiment and see what happens with these words,
Crafting.
and then finding the meaning in that. And so, is that an evolution, or are you just trying both and see what happens? Like, how does that work?
Well, I started at the emotional place, and then it's kind of progressed to the place where now I just it's a practice, a daily practice, and I so like the emotional place, I think there's importance there, and part of what I've been trying to do lately is balance that, where like what do I really feel strongly about? What is really moving the needle, and try to focus on those ones in particular, because I think that you have to have both. You have to have the creativity that you get from the play space. You get to a play space where there's no consequences. You can throw whatever you want at the wall and it's okay. And that's what helps you be creative and helps the flow state kind of happen. But then at the same time, you have to have that feeling to really get to like the depths of what you're trying to discover, I think, if that makes sense.
I find your songs to be sort of universally appealing, right? They're not just appealing to people going through, trouble with a relationship, or people that are just all happy and want to hear happy songs. They're kind of universal in the stories, right? They're not just you. I think they're appealing to. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. It kind of reminds me of this other band that we have interviewed. And if you haven't checked them out, you might check out our episode about Bad Mother Nature. We've actually done twice with them.
Cool.
They're specifically trying to write songs that are less personal and more big picture stuff, universal stuff, evergreen stuff, nothing topical. It's like, let's see how big we can get and universally appealing, and not necessarily appealing, but universally meaningful about something. Big concepts, as opposed to the minutia, the day-to-day story songs. They're not really like that. Is that part of your sort of style or approach as well?
I think it's cool. I think that's cool. It hasn't been something that I've focused on, but I think our songs have gotten less focused on the self over the last 5 years, because 5 years ago I was focused on myself,
Yeah.
and part of like, working through trauma and building yourself is you get to a better place and you start to look outward and try to see, how can I give to other people, and instead of what can somebody else give to me, and I think you can't help but have bigger concepts because of that, in a way.
Do the other guys ever get to contribute to what your songs are about?
I think that'd be cool. We're really, I feel like we're really just kind of at the edges of like our songwriting as a band, like one thing we've talked about this a lot, like just going into the woodshed and just jamming and trying to use melodies and music that come from all five of us before we put any words or melody to it, and see what happens. Because, a lot of my favorite songs have, from what I understand from reading bands talk about them, like a lot of my favorite songs have come from full band written
jams. Yeah.
And we want to do that. We want to do that more. We want to see how that changes the sound and where it takes us.
Well, as an adjacent to us talking about the songwriting styles between you and Bad Mother Nature, JR and I started a couple months ago we started our dream teams. The
Our double taking bands that we have featured on this show, and like
bands you've never heard of.
You want to see a
mega
double or
shows,
triple bill with these two
mega
bands?
shows or mega tours, and we did figure out that Bad Mother Nature, Tobacco Road, and you guys would be a great triple bill. It would be kind of tough because Tobacco Road, easy. They're on the East Coast. They're out of Nashville, but they all grew up in North Carolina, so they're very familiar with that. But Bad Mother Nature is a West Coaster,
Sacramento,
and so that would be kind of difficult to link together.
We're all gonna have
unless that's a real tour, and that could be a very long and very arduous tour. But we could hook you up with Tobacco Road, and if we ever get
if we ever become promoters, that's what we're going to make happen.
Podcast could get enough under its belt, and we could get enough of that tide rolling. That's when we would start trying to do some of these shows. We've put together some amazing shows. The sad part is I think Tobacco Road's in half of them. So
that's true.
Well, I can't wait to listen to them. I don't think I've heard you guys interview them yet, so I'm going to go looking for that.
Yeah, they're quite awesome.
That's a 2-part episode because we have the pleasure of seeing them live in Charlottesville. So we're pretty proud of that one. All right, I've got one more kind of big question and then a bunch of little questions to finish us out here as we get to the end of our time together. As you guys kind of brand yourself as cowboys, right? Brown Dirt Cowboys. Does that cause any confusion with the general population? Is anybody surprised at what you actually sound like versus what they thought you were going to sound like?
Yeah,
absolutely. We got we had a wonderful a wonderful display on one of our last gigs where they listed us as the Brown Dirtbag Cowboys on their website, and to top it off, the description of us talked about bringing in some down home country music, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a fun gig." So.
Play some Merle.
Yeah,
we
play some Merle.
Like they show up in cowboy boots, ready to square dance.
Land dance. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah,
we're popping disco tunes and just
because the JR read for me the Spotify bio, and it goes on to explain what your live shows are like. With the elements that you bring into the live shows,
outlaw country stuff like that.
But outlaw country just stuck in my brain because I've heard so many bands either call themselves or get compared to outlaw country, and then you hear the band, and it's like, no, that's not outlaw country. It's not even outlaw country adjacent, and so first few songs they're playing for me. I'm like, where the hell did they get this outlaw country shit from?
I had to be like, Gary, no, they're not outlaw country. They cover some outlaw country.
No, he goes, at first you said, oh no, I just called them that. And I'm like, but you know how I feel about that because I joined his outlaw country band that wasn't outlaw country. And then we went back and they put elements in this live set.
In other words, we had the same confusion that we're talking about on our show about an hour ago.
But that might be a thing. That might be a communication thing that y'all need to work on because that's the last thing. Because when we were so-called outlaw country, we'd have all these people coming in. Can you play some Alan Jackson? And we're like, no. We don't know that. It's like we don't play country music.
So have there been positive, responses because of this potential confusion, or has it been negative? Has it been a bummer? Has it been a happy thing when people don't know what you're going to sound like until they do?
We've gotten some good things come from it. I think, I think it's been helpful when we pick up My Sweet Annette by Drive-By Truckers and we play, certain songs, we can, trying to think. Southern Nights by Glenn Campbell is like one that a lot of people have really enjoyed. I think we go after ones that we're not changing who we are to play them, you know, like we're playing them as us. Yeah. We're not trying to impersonate the original artist.
Oh yeah, that's always the best. And you can take a song and swap that genre in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what some of my favorite bluegrass songs are metal songs. You know, it's like, or dance pop or whatever that they just play with, you know, with stringed instruments. And your cover of the Killers, I didn't even recognize it for a bit, even though I knew you know, like in the back part of my brain recognized it, but it wasn't until you got to the chorus that, you know, that it really, okay, because I liked it better. You know, it's like a lot of times the interpretation is more pleasing to me than the original. You know, and that's why I pretty much only listen whenever I'm listening. I listen to live cuts because that's when interpretations happen. Even if it's the same band, even if it's that band, but especially cover. I love covers. And but I like listening to the live version because you're interpreting what you did before. Just like y'all said, you can't bring the horn player with you everywhere, but even if you could, he's only playing one horn, not two. So it's still going to be different. You're still going to have to interpret it. We're still going to have to, you know, to change things around a little bit. And it seems like what y'all do is quite awesome. I would love. I've got a friend that just moved down there. I'm going to be busy for the next few months, but after that, I might come down and visit and go out and come see you guys. Maybe would you need a solo acoustic opener?
Yeah. It depends on where we're playing, man.
That way I can take it off of my taxes at least.
Part two of this question, and it comes from a couple different things, right? I hear some Jason Isbell in what you guys do. Like, for example, Clarity to me feels like a nice companion song to Anxiety by Jason Isbell, right? Yeah, so I make that connection when I hear them. And then I think about Jason Isbell and his place in the world right now. He's quite vocal about what he thinks about things. And with you guys presenting almost as, are you cowboys? Are you Southern? Should I bring my boots and get ready to boot, scoot, and boogie, or what? Right? That also, you know, there's a certain thing that goes along with that. And so it just makes me wonder, are you guys, as a band or maybe individuals, do you put your political opinions out there? And again, I'm not trying to get political. I just am curious about have you discussed that? And how you present and how what people might think of you. And is that a thing or is that a problem with where you are in the country?
Well, I just want to say we talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
We talk about it a lot because we see everything that all the other musicians in our town decide to do. And we observe and then we talk, we discuss, and we decide what we want to do. And you know, I think none of us are, I would say that all five of us are at a different place. Like we don't all agree on everything, not even close.
Yeah.
We're all individuals, man, with our own like beliefs and our own things, but there's no reason for us to like need to share that with everyone all the time.
No.
At least for us. I think that there have been moments where somebody in my life I've watched from a stage share something that they believed in, and it has moved me. And I'm grateful that they did, but I don't think that that's where I'm at right now. You know, I think if I needed to take a stand for something, I don't think I would be afraid to do it. I'm not scared of like, you know, losing my income or my, you know, if I really believed in something that needed to be said, I would say it. I'm not interested in being fake or manufacturing something to get likes. Like we don't write these songs for an audience; we write them for us, and the audience comes last. I believe that that's how it should be. But I don't, most of the time when I see a musician out there being very vocal about what they believe in, you know, I don't have anything to say about their decision to do that. I just don't think that decision is for me. I don't think that is for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you know, it's a wild world out there right now. And you know, I know there's plenty of people that are like mega successful, mega stars and stuff like that. And they can do and say whatever they want. I think me personally, as far as like this is concerned, being in smaller areas around people, like if you swing one way or another way, you're going to alienate somebody. And I don't think that's a good idea. I think, you know, if we're going to have discussions about stuff like that, it should be in the band room, and then we can be like, all right, cool, man, I'm glad we had that talk, and then move on and get to work, you know. Like, but as far as like expressing ourselves, or specifically the band in a way that says, hey, this is what we think and what we like, I'd rather just keep it about the music and, you know, play some gigs, fun.
It really does have to be, because it is a band. If you're putting a forward public face on it, and then you have to have a cohesive message if you're going to give that message. But sometimes the five-fingered message, once you work through that and decide where, that's really what we need. We don't, you know, we're getting pounded from one side, we're getting pounded from the other side, we're getting, you know, and they hate each other and everything. But if you got something that you could go, that's cohesive. Now, I'm not telling you need to do this, but should you ever decide, don't run away from it, because I've seen other bands do that, that run away from it, and it's death. It's like they got nothing because they won't stand up for anything.
Right.
And, you know, and at some point, you do have to make that. You know, you got to stand up for something. And you know, otherwise you just fall through the cracks because you're no longer
there's
relevant.
nothing there's nothing interesting about you that you're
Right. Yeah.
you're changing around.
You know, unless you're just human jukeboxes. You know.
Yeah.
We're guys that, like, you know, most of us are working side by side people with every side of the spectrum, and we're in a town that's very, there's lots of folks from both sides, and we're all having to like work together here to get things done.
Yeah. That's the way it needs to be, and that's the way it's supposed to be. And sadly, that's just not the way it happens much anymore. And so having a five-pronged, you know, a message might actually be very beneficial. Just a you know, something to slide in there under the table.
What were you going to say, Alex?
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I also, you know, just flip side of that card, I think that, you know, people going out to see music, whether it's in a local sense or like on a, you know, in a big, huge mega show, I also feel like it's supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to like turn yourself off from the outside world for a couple hours and be in the moment there rather than worrying about what's happening around you. And so, like, you know, like I said, you know, absolutely, you know, there's definitely good points in all of it, and it's, you know, you don't want to get swept under the rug, so to speak. But then it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's music, man. It's supposed to be fun. We should be having a good time, and you know, people should have the ability to go into a place and just turn off the outside world for a couple of hours, and then if they walk back out the door and want to get back into it, great. But you know, I like that whole aspect of.
You know what I'd add to that is, like, I would trust all four of these guys in this band with, like, not just the keys to my house, but like my bank account information, my daughter. Like, I trust these. I trust these people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, I would let, you know, let them spend time with her and like hang around with her and not worry about anything happening to her, because I trust them. Like, I know these four guys are aligned with me in a way where, like, we all respect each other and we all trust each other to, like, to look out for each other and be ethical. And I don't think that I could say that in most of the bands I played in over the last 30 years of my life. And I went through a lot of like bad situations and learned a lot of things the hard way. And then I'm so grateful that I wound up here with guys that I respect and trust, you know? And if there was something that we could say as a message, I think that would be part of it, is that, you know, looking out for the people around you and not just yourself is like a huge part of like being able to like create something beautiful, you know?
I love that.
We've started a movement.
Yeah. I'm going to let that be the end of that part of that discussion, and because that was beautiful and well said, and so much respect for all of that. A couple quick things. You guys have mentioned you're going to be recording some new music. You're looking forward to doing that later this year, some more next year. Do you guys put out physical media? Is that part of the plan? Can I buy an album or a CD if I come to one of your shows? Is there a website I can go find that on? Do you want to promote that at all? What's the deal with physical media?
At this point, we're just selling it at our shows. We have vinyl for the first 2 records. The plan with the last 3 songs we did is we were looking at doing another 3 songs and then maybe getting an A and B side, having 3 songs on one side, 3 songs on the other side, which would work great for vinyl. I don't know if you saw, the local artist Lacey Delandry painted this for us.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah,
that was our cover. And you know, I've already talked to her about maybe being doing one for the next 3 songs, and that would be really cool if it works out, because she's got a lot of other projects. But if it worked out, she could do like a companion to this, and then each side of the album would be one of these. But in the meantime, we just have our first 2 albums on vinyl, and we sell them at shows. We got a few CDs left. I think it'd be cool to have an online store to sell that stuff as well. We just haven't figured out the best way to do that yet.
If you have any questions, I do websites, so I can definitely direct you to the right spots and stuff. So
yeah, we might keep in touch, man. After all this interview and everything, man, I think it'd be cool to talk music and some other things like that as well.
I often like to support the bands that we put on this show. This is a Bad Mother Nature t-shirt that I'm wearing right here. So
that logo. That's really cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. And I'm a vinyl. I'm a big fan of vinyl. So if you, I don't know when I'll get to Wilmington, but if you are willing to ship vinyl to Charlottesville, I'll take some.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Sweet. One last question. One of the venues says that Brown Dirt Cowboys does originals and covers ranging from 1923 to 2023. What songs from 1923 do you guys cover?
Well, 900 Miles is pretty old. It's like a 30s era railroad song. It was like written during the Depression. I don't think anybody knows who the original author is. And, it is the only song that we've recorded and released that is not ours. It's a public domain song.
Oh, wow. It's a tradition.
Several different artists have recorded it, including Woody Guthrie. I think if you look 900 Miles up in Spotify or iTunes, you're going to see like maybe 40 or 50 different people covering it, and they all sound completely different.
Yeah, I like to think I do my homework on this show, but I somehow missed that. I was looking up viewing credits, and they were all written by you guys. So I just didn't even bother when I got to 900 Miles, and I think I just assumed it was one of your original songs. I've never heard that before.
We just have the best version.
Yeah, I like our. It's fun. It's moving. I found it this old coffee shop songbook from the 60s in a used bookstore, and that was one of the songs in there, so we figured out how to play it.
Oh wow,
that's awesome. Cool. So here's what's going to happen now. We're going to close this call. I'm going to edit this down into a tight 2-hour episode, baby, and it's going to get put on YouTube, Spotify, all the podcast players. We're going to put links to it on BYNHOpod.com. We'll put links to all your socials and all of that. So anybody that finds us can hopefully find you guys. And we would love it if you would take the opportunity to tell your fans about your appearance on this show so they can hear, maybe learn more about you. Just tell them this is a great place to do that. Oh, and maybe there's some other bands too, because we call this the rising tide that floats all the boats. And if at some point one of the bands that we have featured is going to get huge, and everybody's going to be Googling them, and they're going to be finding their episode, and then they're going to find BYNHOpod.com, and then they're going to find your episode, and that's the vision, our vision of the future. So any little role you can play in that, you are free to remix parts of this episode into whatever you want. Do them on vertical video, reels, etc., and have a blast with that, and help us, help you, help us. Any parting words, gentlemen?
What's the name of your band that you guys play in, so we can listen to it?
To be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. If you're Letterkenny fans, you know where we got that.
TOBEFARE.com.
To be fair. Okay. All right.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen Letterkenny?
Letterkenny?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
To
that.
be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Yeah.
So, but we spell it different. So, if you got the spelling, it's TOBEFARE. Because the regular spelling would have cost us $800,000 that we did not have.
Oh my gosh.
I'd say you made a good move then. Switch it up just a smidge.
Is there a space between to be and fair?
No, just all TOBEFARE.com.
For the website, if you're looking for us on like Spotify, TOBE is one word. Fair is a second word. Yeah.
Okay.
But you got to put the fair in there, otherwise you come up with Toby Keith or Toby.
In other words, we're not great at naming our band.
Toblerone
failed 3 times. So
you have a song.
This one is great because if you get halfway through the name, as long as you get to that F, you're good. It pulls up. Doesn't matter where you are.
I've got your website up right now.
Sweet.
This is yeah.
So
Check
Gary's
out
the
some
guy
videos in a
behind
little bit.
tobefair.com, BYNHOpod.com. Those are his sites, our sites.
Cool.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us and being on our show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thanks for having us.
Do y'all have any parting questions that we completely missed? Questions that you think that we should have told you that you really need to talk about?
No, man. I think we said way more than we thought we were going to.
Yeah. We will see you at the next release.
All right, looking
Thank you all
forward to
so
that.
much for spending time with us.
Thank you
you,
guys,
guys.
everybody, especially you with the 2 twins. Go take care of those girls. Thank you for breaking away, and thanks to whoever's watching the girls for allowing that to happen.
That's what I've said. Mama's taking care of them
Yeah.
now, and so anyway, thank you guys.
Peace, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that was fun, man. What do you think? I mean, I think coming back after a little rest did us some good, and we carried those questions along pretty well, I think.
Oh, for sure, man. It's good to be back doing this show. I was absolutely questioning how excited I was to be doing this show after the chaos of doing a musical for months and not really focusing on this much. But it is good to be back. It is good to find good people, good musicians, and talk to them about why they do what they do, how they do what they do, and all of that. So yeah, glad to be back.
And I am honest with you. I told you last time I missed it. Sometimes I wonder if I would, but I did. And but it's always good. And this episode of Bands You've Never Heard Of, as all of them, is production of Ranch Hand Records. You can find out at ranchhandrecords.com.
Band You've Never Heard Of, or as we like to call it, BYNHO, is hosted by us, Gary Hawthorne, and me, J.R. Stoff.
BYNHO is written by JR and reacted to in real time by me.
Yeah, that's all for real people. His reactions are, he had no idea who tonight's band was. So And all the songs by the Brown Dirt Cowboys that you heard in this episode were absolutely used with the band's permission. I've got it in writing, Google, so when you email me that there's a copyright credit, I've got proof that the band said, yeah, you can play that, no problem.
Even 900 miles.
Yeah.
Because it was traditional.
Public domain, baby.
Public domain. You can check out their website with a link that we're putting on on our website, BYNHOpod.com, because it's a little too complicated to try to spell out on the podcast phone.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes on the website, wherever. Click on it. I mean, you could also just Google Brown Dirt Cowboys. That's what I did. And check out the official Bands You've Never Heard Of playlist on Spotify. Their music, all 3 of the albums they have out now, and any albums and EPs that they put out in the future, I will add them to the playlist where we feature every song by almost every artist that we've ever featured on this show. It is a wonderful list of great music. Put it on and hit shuffle. Subscribe to that so you're notified and it comes up for you every time I add new music to the playlist. Trust me, it's great music.
And if you're listening to this and not watching this, we recommend you watch us. Not just because JR and I are so captivating, but you get to see the graphics, you get to see the videos, you get to meet the band and see them live and in person. And you can do all that at youtube.com at BYNHOpod.
And BYNHOpod is also our email address, bynhopod@gmail.com, BYNHOPOD@gmail.com. Use that to communicate with us. It's just one of the several ways you can drop us a line, let us know that you like or don't like the show, or a band you think we should feature, or
not feature,
or ask us any questions at all. We'd love to address them on the show. We'd love to get to know our audience. So send us an email if you feel like it. That'd be great.
Or you could hit us up on the Contact Us page of the website. You can get that. You can find out about all the bands. A little bit behind right now because of stuff. But all the bands, all the way up until these guys will be on there eventually in short time. Plus, you could buy merch and you could support your absolutely favorite podcast and help us keep this on the air, or I guess it's not on the air. Help us keep this.
You can say that. It still works. It's very radio-like.
Yeah, and we are at www.bynhopod.com. That's BYNHOPOD.com.
Whew. All right, first show in a while, Gary. It is now in the books. Thank you so much for listening. If you are indeed still listening, you are my hero. Thank you for being here. We'll be back soon with another episode. We might not be doing it every week for a little while for the rest of the summer, but we will be back. We've got more interviews with more great bands. In fact, an upcoming episode will feature a band from a country we have never interviewed a band from before, in a very different time zone than our own. Wow. And so we're gonna be recording an episode of this show at 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
After playing Saturday night.
After playing a gig Saturday night. It's going to be amazing.
It's a little ways away from.
It's going to be a super high energy show is what that one's going to be. So come back
it will
for
be
more.
By the time I get here.
We'll bring you another band you've never heard of.
See you soon.
Thanks for listening. Peace out, everybody.
All right, that's done. What's next?